Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, whatever time of day this is for you. Yeah, it's morning for me. A little earlier than usual. Kids haven't even gone to school yet. Yeah, bathroom lights on there. I got one in the bathroom. Hopefully I'll get to school on time today, right? Hey, it's me, Wingish Nibay, Majaki Quay. Sweet grass water medicine woman. Yo, friendly, freaky ass medicine woman. Also, Christiana Carr and Chris Carr, Superstar. All this beautiful divine being right here. Welcome, 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 welcome to you beautiful divine beings. Right here too. So glad to see you. How's it going today? Tuesday. I thought maybe I'd just do a little cards and maybe I'll come back and do a talk after I take the girl to school. Those hot days we've been having, but winter's fall is my favorite, right? My favorite season is fall. I think it's perfect temperatures. It's so pretty outside. I love the smell in the air. Love these. So yeah, I would have to say fall is my favorite season. Even though my birthday's in the summer. I like the fall. I don't like to be too hot. So, you know, when it's cooler, you can always put on an extra sweater. You can only take so many layers off, right? So, I ain't a nudist. I only jumped in the water once. Yeah, that doesn't. I usually keep myself covered. Even this, like when I was a kid, everything was up to here. I tried to hide my development. I think that's why my shoulders round forward, because I was always trying to hide that. You know, you stand back and then, well, girls say, oh yeah, she just tried to stick out her chest. Oh, she just wants all the attention. You know, because that's what they wanted, and that's the reason they stuck, you know, put their shoulders back, because they were sticking out their chest, because I did it to try and keep my posture, because I didn't want to have a hunchback. Then I do, right? So that nobody thinks that's what I'm trying to do. I go like this. If somebody thinks that's what I'm trying to do, I go, no. You know, I get really nervous when somebody thinks I'm lying too, or if somebody sounded like they don't believe me, they think I'm lying. Even when I'm telling the truth, I get this, you know, I'm afraid they're not going to believe me, even when I'm telling the truth. It's weird, right? It's been printed on my baby brain. Better, you know, I do the baby brain and flip the lids, right? Okay, it's only me and my kids here. So, if you ever do this and you see me doing that signal that says, I need help, because that is, and I did repost a little thing that mentioned that idea, that women that are in, you're living in that abusive situation, and you're needing help, right? But you can't call, right? I'm really gonna work on that. You can't call because they're there, right? You can do like Facebook, do a FaceTime with somebody, and everybody knows, right? You're trapped. This is the trapped, right? For women in domestic abuse, I think that's starting to be put out there more, in ways that we can get help without giving it away, because then it just looks like you're waving at who's ever, right? Okay. So we know that. Spread that around so everybody knows that signal. We can help these women in a safe way, right? To plan there. And you need a safety plan. If you're in there, get a safety plan. Friends you can connect with, that you can confide in, that you know isn't going to go back to the abuser. Especially if your abuser seems so kind to everybody else, and, you know, you're the one that sees, you know, that side of them, right? They keep that pretty well hidden from everybody else. And when it slips out, because it does slip out in front of people. It gets kind of brushed over, though. Oh, they're just inappropriate humor. Oh, whatever. Or that's not what I said. You just misunderstood me or whatever, right? Anyways, that's the focus. I'm living through it. That was something myself not understanding. Why we keep going back. I sure do now. A much deeper understanding, right? Much deeper understanding. And, you know, there's much more abuse out there than what we think, just because we can't see it, right? It's like those invisible illnesses. We don't see on the surface what's going on. Deeper things are happening, though. And it does cause physical damage. even if you're not being hit, there is still damage that gets done to your physical body from being constantly in a trauma response, from being constantly, brain constantly going, not able to shut down because you got to keep yourself safe, because if it's not hitting, you don't want it to get to a hitting, right? Because there might be signs that shows, right? For me, there was a dog thrown across the room, right? So I was afraid. I didn't want to see if he ever got that angry, if he would actually hit me. So, and that's part of that coercive controlling, where they don't have to hit you. If they can control you without that. I mean, one of the sons used to brag around, oh, you don't leave bruises. Just put an orange in a sock when you hit her. Don't leave bruises and don't leave marks. So, even if there's no marks, doesn't mean they're not getting hit. Ow! This is my, it's fidgeting. It's an nervous talk, right? Anybody goes through the situation can. When you talk about it, you're being open, and they can bring repercussions, right? So, but if we don't, right? That's the thing. It's that keeping that silence. So then we just feel more trapped in those situations. I mean, and even if you get out and you never move back in, right? And sometimes there's reasons you still need to be connected, especially with children, right? When my mom left my biological father, not my dad. Any man can be a father. It takes someone special to be a dad. My dad, since I was 6 years old, is my dad. My biological father. Mom leaving him, and that was at a time where, oh, sorry, ma'am. That's domestic, nothing we can do, right? When she actually left him, and he's banging on to trying to get in. Oh, he's trying to get in. Oh, call us back if he gets in, ma'am, right? And around that time, Mom was leaving, there was a woman that was killed. She was killed leaving her abusive spouse with her 3 kids. There was a picture in the paper, and everybody thought it was my mom. So that really gave him my mom's, because the picture was blurry, and there was a picture of my mom with us on top of a car. So it was like a very similar picture, but it was, God's message to my mom about what could happen. It's scary. And it's scary with those outrights, people pulverizing their partners or whatever. It's scary with the stuff we don't see, because this has been, then that gets carried through, and those subtleties come up, and the children learn what they live. Right. I didn't realize how much I say, right. I don't mean as incorrect. I mean, you hear me? We all got those little speech fillers, eh? Well, I was going to do the cards first. Looks like I'm doing the talk first. West Shield, introspection goals. What is that for you, right? Just make sure you're safe. Make sure your kids are safe. And even if they're not doing anything to your kids, that's one thing my counselor said. A good dad does not abuse their children's mother. Okay? Because the father's role is to help show respect for that mother, right? And that love. Show that to the children. Helps to teach the children that respect for their mother. And children need to respect their parents, both of them, right? Parents need to respect their children. That the children, they're not little people. They're not extensions of us. It feels like that sometimes, right? They are their own little beings. They do not belong to us. I mean, if we've done our jobs right, they grow up and they go on with their lives, and we just hope they come back and visit, But they don't need us anymore. Our job as a parent is to raise our kids to be self-sufficient and not need us anymore. Not need us anymore. It's our jobs as therapists too, right? To work ourselves out of a job. Giving people the tools to do it for themselves and not become dependent on somebody else, right? Then we have those codependents instead of interdependence, right? We need to have independence to have interdependence, right? So it all begins within. All begins within, right? There's other human beings out there that need a little more help. That helps us to appreciate, hey, our fully functioning bodies, or I appreciate mine even though it's not as fully functioning as it used to be. But I see, you know, I need to appreciate these things. What do you appreciate in your life? What gets you through the days? 7:54. The boy's gonna go soon, so I got some time to do this little quickie for the day. It's turning. I have a friend of mine give me some stuff he grows himself, and since I was out of my medicine, I use that. It works pretty good. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. The blade. Law and the magic, right? I just saw something, right? The laws isn't man's laws. It's universal laws. Those are the biggest laws. That's what we need to follow more than man's laws trying to control us. Right? At least the one that created us gives us that free will to choose for ourselves. Right? What does man do? No, you must do it this way or we suppress you, depress you, kill you, separate you. That's man's work. That's not God's work. Right? Cradle boards, we have that ability to respond to that, right? Returning home to who we are. Original creators, right? Being governed by the universal laws, not man-made laws. Right? Man's like those teenagers that think they know everything, right? Yep. Oh, because we can figure out some science. We can figure out how some things work. We know everything now. Hello. That's the biggest ignorance right there, to think you know everything. What's the point? What's the point? We're here to learn lessons and love if you already know everything. Might as well head back home. You know, yeah, I'm a little, I was upset this morning. So dishonesty in my home. No, it's hard. It's hard to, you know, your home should be a safe place. Everybody's honest. Take care of everybody. Can be themselves, right? Right? That innocent selves. Sacred space. Right? Don't call in those fears in your home. Which, like, I guess maybe I do. I don't know. We all do. I got to look into it. How am I doing that? How am I bringing that on myself? You know? I feel guilty and do the hyper responsibility like I used to do, but we can look at, okay, what can I do to change? That the power in me. Where is my power in this situation? Right? Once I learn that lesson, maybe I get that power. Who knows? I just keep. I mean, I've always loved the shuffle cards, right? Before I even got into these. Loved it. Loved it, the cards. Well, there's Eagle and the Thunder Beams, a reusable energy, right? Eagle is closest to source. He's the teacher. Okay, right? Okay. Self-reflection. That's what we're going to do. Self-reflection. Well, let's help us. Let's do a male, female, and overall. Okay. Oof. Calling in our directions in our head, because Mama here. Going to. Okay, I didn't spit that time. That's good. Okay. No, it went down my throat instead of coming out my mouth. It's warm today. Ow. And then I drink my hot coffee. I keep saying tea. It was used to be. And then it was hot chocolate. There's no hot chocolate. Got a half teaspoon of coffee. And then some, like, Boost shakes. But they're not Boost. It's no names. Yeah. Get my medicine and some shake in there. Love you. Oh, thanks for bearing with me. Oh, gosh. Gush, gush, gush. Hope this is fun for you. Fun for me. Do left and right and then the overall? Or should we do the overall and then the left and right? Yeah, let's do left and right and then bring it together, right? Right. Receiving is the female side. We're going to do the female side with receiving. Female side is the receptive energy today. What is going to help us today? Okay. That nurturing and giving it to ourselves, right? Giving ourselves a little TLC. Maybe we could offer some to others, but that's that self-reflection. Giving ourselves some TLC while we do that self-reflection, right? Nurture us for those not so healthy cycles that we repeated, because we got caught up in that relationship, and we know, right? Already saying that we don't get these teachings and stuff. Kids aren't taught this stuff about the safety and healthy relationships unless you're in something like that. So very young, my mom escaped from my biological father. I was under 6. And with my two of my biological brothers. My youngest brother is biologically my daddy's. So when we look at that and how we've repeated a cycle, nurturing, in my own experience, looking and going, well, how come I didn't pay attention before? Well, because I thought I was being hyper vigilant or whatever. So we need to be easy on ourselves when we look back and we start blaming ourselves for our kids witnessing what we had went through, or when we didn't hold the best lessons either, and we maybe had a reactional abuse, which again is not abuse. You're reacting, you're defending yourself, right? Reactional self-defense. So be gentle with yourself today as you're reflecting, or whatever day you do that. Anytime you're reflecting on yourself, be gentle, nurture yourself, give yourself that space, right? And let it come up for you. Okay, so the male, the action, as we're reflecting, what is that action we can take as we reflect on that to help us in our healing journeys? Whether we have left that, or we're in it, or we just want to learn something about it. We know somebody that's been through it. Abusive relationship, and it doesn't have to be intimate partners. We have these abusive relationships in everything. Oh, there's my daddy coming in the door, or somebody coming out that door. That's my girl. So go get your breakfast. I'm almost done here. Thank you very much. Love you.
Can I choose a tie?
No, can you go let me finish this? Thank you very much. I'm almost done here. Thank you. And on the left side, we have the giveaway and release, and releasing whatever that is you need to release, right? That guilt that you're feeling for that, you're making that sacred. We're giving away anything that we're carrying that we're not meant to carry. All that blame we felt for ourselves, that we brought this on ourselves. Yes, some choices we make bring us into that, but it's still not our fault. We don't deserve to be abused in any way. Nobody, no human being deserves to be abused in any way, right? And that's why we need to look at, so we're not repeating that abuse. Because if it's just made normal. So we need to release those things that we thought, this is just normal. We need to release that high tolerance to the inappropriate and unacceptable behaviors. Because when we're born in abusive situations, these seem normal. And it's like the milder forms. Oh, well, that's not so bad. What, you're not getting hit? Hey, no worries about it. Oh, my goodness, I wish somebody would hit me because I'm getting this subtle. And then we start, right? And it's about the degrees of abuse. Well, this isn't so bad. Abuse, any kind, any form of abuse, does not belong in any relationship. Right? Does not belong. And that's a secret. Then we would keep that secret, right? Because we carried this secret for a long time, and then what do we do, right? We beat ourselves up for it. Why didn't I speak up? We keep secrets while we're in these relationships, so then people don't really know what's actually going on, because, well, hey, that's a reflection on us and what we chose, right? We don't want them to think anything bad about that person because they had such a horrible life. We're trying to save them. So look at the secrets that we keep, and are they helping us, right? And Lynx knows the secret of who you are, right? So they can help you. Lynx's medicine can help you unlock of who you are. So take that reflection and be who you are, and take that time to release. However you need to release that. Do you dance around? Maybe you need to have a good cry today. Whatever that is for you. What is it for you? Share if you like to. That'd be good. And overall, excuse me, my girl was there. I better get going. So instead of the 2 videos, we're just doing the 1. Maybe they'll all come get a card. They used to. Okay, and here we go. It was up there yesterday. 7, right? Medicine wheel. That's when we release, we create those cycles and movements because we're not continually going over and over. Why did this happen? Why did this happen? Remember, things are in cycles too. Sometimes it may seem like we're coming around, we're repeating a cycle, but this time we have a higher wisdom. We're at a higher perspective, right? If you're spiraling around the mountain, now you're up higher, right? You might be seeing that same tree, but now you're at a different part in that tree, right? Does that make sense to you? So you're still moving, slow and steady, right? But you create those movements as we release, right? We confront those parts in ourselves. So this is a theme this week. These came out yesterday. Remember, there's a few of these cards. Well, 3 for sure. All these 3 came out. And then did these come out together? Right? And I put them in separate in the pile. I picked one from here and one from here. Yeah, were these together yesterday? Confronting the cycles, right? In a gentle way, in ourselves. This is what we're doing. That's the overall theme. I think in the whole world right now, right? Because we need those cycles and movements. We all need to begin within and confront in us those beliefs, how we separate ourselves, how we make ourselves separate from our source, separate from each other, when we're all in this together, right? And the world doesn't need us human beings to turn around. We're not here to keep the world spinning around. It does just fine without us. It did for millions of years without us. So, where's that big ego in man that thinks? So all of us, man, woman, whatever, confront in us, right? How we let our egos get carried away, right? Dominion over is in power and control over, right? It's keeping it safe, contributing, realizing. So we would all do well to realize our place in that circle of life, right? We would all do well to confront all those things in ourselves that separate us, that says this is different, that's good, that's bad, right? Confronting how we judge. It is not our job to judge. That is not an endearing human quality. That's a quality we all need to, discerning, yes, discern what we have in our lives. Judgment, no, it's up to our source to judge. And hey, if you got the job of being a judge, okay, maybe it might be your job to judge, right? Average, regular human beings, it's not our job to judge anybody because we're judging from our own small-minded perceptions, right? It's not. We're judging from our own life experience. We don't know what's best for somebody else, right? We all need to get in touch with what's best for ourselves, right? Because that's all we can truly know. We're in here. We're not in anybody else's body. So release that, right? Release the ego that thinks you know better than somebody else. Release the ego that says, oh, this earth is dependent on us people. Oh, right? Let's not get it all backwards. Right? We are dependent on the earth. And our source. Without that, we wouldn't be here. None of us. Love yous. Biggest heart hugs ever. Oh, thank you for being you and shining your light through in everything you do. Because you know what? This world means you. Thank you for being here. A wonderful, blessed day.